Why, hello. So today we're going to get started fixing yet another dead MacBook. Isn't this exciting? So, let's begin. So here we have another dead MacBook. It says no power. Potential logic board failure according to Genius Bar. Mac is unresponsive, will not turn on. Excellent diagnosis, Genius Bar. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see if we can make this thing work again. Goodness. We are back to the MacBook repair. It is Rosh Hashanah, the place that I am looking to sign a lease with is off today, probably tomorrow. Expect to hear back from them a little later in the week. Go back and forth with my attorney over a lease, and that's that. In the meantime, what is the latest on Anel's surgery? Anel had to get a screw put in his tailbone, and don't take that the wrong way, and a plate in his pelvis because somebody ran over Anel with their truck, and after moving over to making a turn 2 lanes over and then going through a red light. So Anel is out of commission at the moment, unfortunately. Anel's in pretty good spirits with somebody that got screwed in the tailbone. He's been taking it very well. So inside of here, we have an 820-4924 board, and we've also got a little friend inside of there. Everybody, say hello to my friend. Wow, look at that. Did you kill this MacBook, little guy? Did you kill this MacBook? Oh, I bet you did kill this MacBook. Good little guy. Look at that little suicide bomber over there. Anyway, so what we're going to do over here is turn on my power supply, turn on Paul Daniels' terrible multimeter software that probably isn't going to work right, and we're going to get the power supply on the screen so that we can see how many amps this whole system is using. So I'm going to just turn that on, get the good old output of the power supply on. They're waste time repairing an iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's not a waste of time if you make money. So what you have to do is you have to set up your business to figure out what repairs you will take, what repairs you will not take, and what stuff you will offer a free estimate on, what you won't. Again, is it a board issue, not a board issue? Are they willing? Do they have a willingness to pay for the repair that you're about to do? So on and so forth. If it's liquid damage, I typically save those for data recovery. I don't feel like, replacing half of the phone only for them to say, oh, Apple will replace it for the same price, or even worse, them coming back a month later because of a baseband issue, and nah. Chelsea Cabral says, hey, cutie. Who are you? There's a kitty in my chat that thinks I'm cute. That kitty looks... That's an adorable kitty that you have in your profile picture. I'm assuming that the cutie is your cat, not me. Okay, so we're going to plug this in and see what happens. Glad to see you're still repairing laptops. Can't wait for the renovation videos to come. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. I am excited about that as well. We will see. Hopefully I wind up getting a new place, signing a lease, and all goes well with it. So that being said, we are going to plug this in and see how many amps it takes. And it seems like it's taking 600 milliamps, which is really boring because that means that this already works, which means that somebody's most likely wasting my time. Also, there's a bunch of dead bugs inside this machine, and they're falling out onto my desk. Ew, ew, ew. Okay, I really hope that I can just pass this machine along. It seems like it already works. We send this back to the customer and get this fucking cemetery off of my table. So, it is turning on. Let's see, we have CPU vCore. CPU vCore is there, 1.87 volts. All right. Do we have the screen turning on? The screen is turning on. 5 volts going to the screen. All right. Do we have voltage at the backlight? What is the backlight giving us? The backlight's not on. So this has no backlight, which is probably why they think it's dead. So let's try and look into why it is there's no backlight, see what's going on there, and see if we can fix it. Now, I'm going to close this. We are going to take a look at that LCD connector. Why, hello, little guy. Did you kill the backlight? Did you kill the backlight? Look at those strange little eyeballs. Yeah, they're just staring right into my soul. Oh, man. Hello, little guy. Maybe I can put you in Erica's food later today. It's actually kind of a rough texture to the eyeball. I don't know if the camera is making that out. Yeah, the lighting is not good enough here, unfortunately. Yeah, you see that? There's a rough texture to the eyeball. Kind of like an antimicrobial surface or something. Would you like a picture of my cat, Caramel? Sure. Why not, Chelsea? Are you moving? I am not vibrating the desk at all. That is just the pure shakiness of this shit office. Who's that you're watching?
It's from another country. He also fixes
Oh. If he's from another country, then you know he's good. Especially all those... I don't know what it is. All the foreign YouTube channels for repair stuff are like 10 times ahead of us.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Trying to catch up.
For new store renovation fund, Alan interview when? Alan interview once we sign the lease. Wake up, little guy. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! It's time to go! Have some euros for your repair efforts. Holy crap, 50 euros. Wow. Thank you. That's way more than I deserve. I appreciate it. Okay. So the issue that we have here is no backlight. So the first thing we want to do is see if there's a short to ground on backlight output, which is going to be on pin 1 at the LCD connector. And you also want to make these measurements, any sort of resistance measurements on the board without power applied. You also want to have your multimeter in ohms, not voltage, when making resistance measurements, because having it in voltage mode would make you an idiot. Alright, so it looks like we've got 160 kiloohms to ground, so there is not a short to ground. So next thing we're going to do is... Okay, Chelsea, you will temporarily become a mod so that you can post a picture of your kitty. First thing we're going to do here is open up a schematic and a board view for the 820-4924. Miles Blakely is here. Why, hello, Michael. Is there a way we can send get well cards to an L? You know, I haven't spoken with him as to whether or not he wants his address made public. I will ask him in Discord later today if he's cool with his location being made public, and then if he is, I will release his address for sending cards. Or you could just send them to the store and I'll forward them to him. Actually, that sounds like it makes more sense. So, what you need to do here is check and see if the data lines are shorted to ground or anything. So let's see. Pins 3 and 4 are going to be the data lines where the screen is going to speak to the LED driver because it has to request that it shoots out a backlight. So over here you've got the LED driver. See? That's the LCD connector. And this is going to be... stop doing that. Damn you, Paul Daniel Software. It's just evil. Okay, so this here is the LED driver. And this is a signal that's going to speak to the LED, to the screen, and the screen's going to speak to the LED driver, and that's how it's going to get a backlight. I start my new job Monday. You have slowed my descent into madness during the lull between work. Thank you, Christopher Kelly. I appreciate that. Miles, he got hit by a truck. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to open the machine up, like so, as we can't expect it to want to turn on the screen if it's closed. We're going to plug it in and see what we get on those two lines. Now, those two data lines, as you can see over here, are pulled up by a 5-volt power line. So PP5 VSO is going to be the power line that these two resistors are going to be using to pull up this signal. So this is going to be a 5-volt data line. So I would expect to see it peak out at around 4.5 or 5 volts and then go up, down, up, down, up, down as it does its speaking. Send to Nelson love. I would love to see some videos of your employees. Introduce them to us. The thing is, my employees read my YouTube comments, and that has caused them to want to be completely anonymous to YouTube. I have employees that actually won't go to the bathroom here if I'm filming. They will actually go to Starbucks or the hookah lounge next door just so that they don't show up on camera. So yeah, when it comes to people here being okay with being on camera, I'm happy to be on camera. Paul isn't really happy to be on camera, but I'll deal with it. And everybody else here will just tell me to straight up go fuck myself if I put a camera in their face. Okay, so... But thank you very much, Don Brown. 4.8 volts on the clock line. 4.8 volts in the data line. So the data line is not being held down, but we still don't have a backlight, even though image is present. So next thing is to see if the screen is actually working. So maybe the LED driver is talking to the screen, but the screen is saying some bullshit, and that's why we're not getting a light. That's always possible. That would be the... Imagine the scientific terminology for it. So... I am gonna get another screen from the test pile. You're not a test screen. You're not a good test screen. You're not a good test screen. You're a good test screen. And we're gonna see what happens. Lewis, I'm gonna be pulling an all-nighter. Could you please stream all night so that I'm entertained while I work? By the way, I'm a programmer. Thank you for your 5 BGNs, but I don't think I'll be able to stream all evening. But I do appreciate your 5 BGNs. So we're going to turn off the power to the MacBook. We're going to plug in another screen and see what happens with it. This means it could be a screen or a screen cable. There's also the possibility that it's sleeping, or maybe it's low because the lid sensor, which is the hall sensor, the thing that senses when the machine closes, is broken, so it thinks that it's always closed when it's not. That is always possible. Let's see what happens now. Turn on, mofo. Have some Swiss francs. Love what you do. Keep it up. Thank you very much, RiseX, for the 5 shifts. CHF. Well, it seems like now the machine doesn't want to turn on anymore, even though it was turning on just fine a moment ago. You little piece of shit. Okay, so how the heck do we go from no backlight to dead? Let's try no screen plugged in for a moment. What a fucking troll you are, little MacBook. Now you turn on. Okay, is my test screen killing it? Now you turn on. And now we can check. Do we get power going to the screen? Yes, we do. Do we get backlight? Yes, we do. So bad screen or bad screen cable? That's very boring. Buy an Ellis smoothie with this when he comes back. Will do, Copaz. I'm actually getting him a personal injury attorney. I really hope the person that decided to run my employee over with a fucking truck and just hit and run rather than stop, call the cops, call an ambulance, ask if the guy he ran over was okay, has really good insurance. I hope for his sake that he has really good insurance. Because I tend to hold grudges against people that run over members of my staff, break their pelvis and their tailbone, put them in the hospital for 6 months. I got myself a good personal injury attorney. One of those people that kind of sees this thing as a sport. You always want to find a professional that finds whatever they're doing kind of like a game, something that they are always looking to do better at, not just as a job. Have some $2, buy caffeine, stop yawning. No, caffeine makes me anxious. Yeah. Yeah, the person who ran my employee over with a truck. Oh, they're about to learn the meaning of the word disappointment. Alright, so let me just leave notes for this one. What was the deal with Best Buy? Fixed MacBook. Did you ever figure out why it started working again? Nope. Too busy. I was honestly too busy to do that project. There was so much fucking work that piled up as a result of us wasting time on that. But, yeah, I never figured it out. We wound up selling it. Somebody bought it for close to what I paid for it. And we're done. You're a great person and boss. No, I'm not. Short of being hit by a truck, like, once you're hit by a truck, you're slightly worse off than you would be if you worked here. But unless you're getting hit by a truck, you're probably better off at another job than you are working here. Only once you've been hit by a truck do we care about you. Yeah. Next up, we've got another A1502 with no power. Hopefully this one's actually no power, so that we have something to show you, work on, that is actually interesting. So let's open this thing up and try and figure out why it's here. So, first thing we're going to do, unplug the battery. I'm going to get my power supply on the screen so that we can see how much power this board is using. I always unplug the battery because I want to know what the board itself is utilizing. Since the amount of power the battery is going to draw from the board, it always depends on the amount of charge in the battery. So this one's only taking 19 milliamps, which is usually indicative of PM sleep S3L missing. Now, the fact that it keeps going from 18 milliamps to 23 back and forth means it's power cycling, so there may be a short on the rail, or PM sleep S4L is not missing, it's simply there and then not and there and then not. I had a choice to buy a new ThinkPad or donate some money. Do you think we both know that I do not need a new ThinkPad? Holy shit. Dude, I am not worth that. I have not provided you with enough value. Wow. Thank you, Mario. That's more than I deserve. Yeah, that's more than I think I've earned. Well, thank you very much. Holy crap. Thank you. So, this machine, if you look at the power supply in the upper left corner, it's taking 15 to 23 milliamps. Hope the new stereo goes through smoothly. Yay, fiber. Oh, me too. So I'll be able to stream to all of these platforms. I'll be able to do a stream to YouTube at 30 or 40 megabit per second if I wanted to. I could stream to YouTube essentially the same bitrate that I'd be recording at. So the stream quality would be as close as possible to original. Twitch won't like it, but the only thing people in Twitch do is complain that I'm not reading their chat. Well, consider he did not send you pickles. That's fine. I enjoy pickles. Send me all the pickles that you want. Well, pickles are a lovely item. Lovely food item. So, tell your employers if they need to be hit by a bus, I'm available, says Arvid. The camera's been on the whole time. The panda lives. Indeed I do. Hello, Piernov. Is there chat in Vimeo? Vimeo sucks, so you have to enable the chat each time. I haven't had time to complain to them, so they actually change it. Preparing a package of pickles now. Thank you, Emberfire. I enjoy pickles. So, make sure Ernell's kept with Kit Kats for his stay in hospital, says MobileFix. Thank you for the 500 secs. So, I had to go to that same hospital. Here's what I'm pissed off about. I had a mild concussion. They gave me a piece of bread, a cup of water, and a piece of American cheese on the bread. Anel goes to the hospital. They give him a whole fucking smorgasbord of food. Like what? Do you have to have a broken pelvis before you can get good food out of Bellevue? You should send people to Eli the computer guy house after what he did to you on stream. I honestly, pickles are great. So let's go back to trying to fix this board, because I am starting to get more messages here than I do on a normal AMA stream. Crap. I think it's because I haven't streamed in a while. Also, I gotta figure out how to change the size of that, since now it takes up the whole damn screen. How do I shrink that so I can do my board repair video? Well, let's see. Alert box. Damn it, I hate when websites make a pop-up of shit. It drives me up a fucking wall. Don't pop up shit while I'm going to change settings. Just so aggravating. Alright. Eli told everyone to visit Lewis and we should bring pickles. Yeah, visit the store so that I can tell you to get the fuck out of here. I miss you. Come home and pet me. Nobody misses you, Oreo, and nobody cares that you exist. You go away, Oreo. You shoo. Shoo, you smelly cat. Oreo's an adorable cat, but he's dumb as a box of rocks. All right, so back to this board repair. Thank you so much for everybody who's taken part in the chat. This is switching back and forth between 15 milliamps and 25 milliamps, and now it's switching back between 23 and 50. Now, the reason that I like having the power supply attached to the board, where I can actually read how much power it's taking, not to see the damn green light, the reason I like using my power supply, is you can buy it at the link down below, the CSI 3005P from Circuit Specialist, is that when I plug my MagSafe into a power supply, it tells me over here how much power is being used. I know this is a lot of money, but isn't a lot of money, but I really enjoy your content. This is the first time I caught a stream. Thanks for your effort. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and it doesn't, honestly, even just you watching is something I appreciate. You don't got to give anything, but thank you very much. Thank you. So, what was I just doing? So the power that it's using, as you can see over here, stop being mean to Oreo, my cat Caramel loves him. Well, your cat is the only cat that's going to love a cat like Oreo. How about we have them put their money where their mouth is and show up here and actually, you know. Because the thing is, BlackBerry and Oreo have shared a space for a long time, and BlackBerry has never given it up to Oreo. And I don't think she ever will, because Oreo doesn't clean himself. He's absolutely filthy. And, you know, it is what it is. If any point in time he would like a cute kitty to come over and give him something, then he's going to have to clean himself. But he doesn't seem to be interested in cleaning himself, especially now that he's found another woman to do it for him. Isn't that right, Erica? Anyway, back to what I was... Let's try to fix this fucking board. So over here, you can see that the power is going up and down. So the reason I like having the power supply attached to the board rather than just having a normal MagSafe with Apple charger attached is I can see how much power it's using. And this number here actually means something. So you can see that it's switching back and forth between 2060, 2060, 2060. That means it's power cycling. It's not just that power rail is missing. It's that some power rails are trying to turn on, then off, then on, then off, and on, then off. And that usually happens when a power rail is shorted. So let's get everything out of this machine and see if we can find which power rail is shorted, what's causing it, and make this machine work again. So I'm going to open this all up. Clinton has been 100% unsuccessful. Clinton has sometimes been successful. I don't know if BlackBerry was happy with it, though. I don't think he makes that much. Who's he? Yeah. Ever thought about bringing one of your cats to the store? Nah, they're not excited about being at the store. Anel is... He's recovering. I mean, he had surgery on his pelvis, and he had a plate put in there, and he had screws put in his tailbone. So, you know, he's recovering. As well as one can recover when they get run over by a truck. You have 3 cats now? I never understood if it was yours or just a temporary resident. Oreo is a temporary resident, and once I find a fitting owner and a suitable home for him, I will no longer have him in my possession. In fact, if anybody in the chat thinks they'd be a suitable owner, It only happened once and I blame the catnip. Yeah, sure, Blackberry. Blame the catnip, not Mr. Clinton's charm. Alright, so this here is the board. One thing I want to do when I get a new office and desk set up and all this is I want this to not shake around constantly. So let me see if the architect has returned my emails. Emailed my architect a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to get a proposal put together from him. Okay, so let's take a look at this board. See if anything strikes us as funny. First thing we're going to do is we're going to measure through some of our main power rails. You know, the PP bus and all that stuff. And are you serious? Okay, it just tried to turn on there. I saw it try to take 700 milliamps. And then it went to 6 milliamps. Yeah, we're just going to go through the schematic as usual. Can I adopt Oreo as my cat? Oreo, my cat is lonely. Absolutely, you can adopt Oreo, Copaz. If you just come by the store tomorrow, we will have him here for you. Yep. Absolutely, Copaz. I would be more than happy to supply you with Oreo the cat. Just come by the store tomorrow, and Erica will present you with Oreo. Erica said it's totally okay. Erica said it's cool. Can you fix Daniel's MacBook Pro T2 failure? Made a video. A bunch of people have been linking me to this. What the fuck? This thing's turning on now? Are you kidding me? You were not turning on the entire time. Now you're on. Really now? All right, let's see if we get fan spin. For all I know, I fixed it. Look at this. I'm probably getting CPU vCore too. You fucking piece of shit. I can't get a good board repair video, can I? You do hard work all day, and I just put stuff on my desk and it like starts working. Anyway, hopefully Paul S. is not watching the stream. He's going to get pissed at me at some point. No, these don't fan spin until the CPU goes over 90 Celsius. That's Apple design right there. So you're not going to see the fan spin until this thing is burning. So, I forgot already.
So I'll text you.
So,
I'll text you if you read out.
all right, we're gonna see if this thing has a picture in a moment. Yeah, a lot of people are asking me if I can fix this MacBook Pro with a randomly crashing board that just randomly dies. Random crashing is this type of stuff that is a complete nightmare. So usually random crashing we don't fix unless it is a specific model that is known to have a specific issue, because it takes years upon years upon years to even find the design defect, and there are a lot of problems where the random crashing is not the same thing every time. It's not a design defect, it's just that specific machine has failed in a very specific particular way. Also, I had the fan unplugged, which would explain why the fan was not spinning. Let's try this again. You're taking 7 milliamps. Turn on, MacBook. Turn on, MacBook. There we go. Let's see if we get a light on the screen. If I get a light on the screen, this is just going to be funny. Second MacBook of the day that just fixed itself. Should I really be renting a new space? Shit. This is how MacBooks are going to be going. I don't want to waste my money renovating a new store when all the machines in front of me are just able to fix themselves and shit. Okay, so let's see. What voltage do we have on backlight? Alright. 49 volts. So the problem with this MacBook is not that it doesn't turn on. The problem is that there's no backlight. But now the backlight actually just magically turned on as Arvid gave $5. It says Oreo needs a cap a day. So the problem with this MacBook is that the screen is broken, not that it doesn't turn on, which is an entirely different issue and completely uneconomical to fix on this given the skyrocketing cost of screens for this particular model. You used to be able to get the LCD by itself for $85. Those days are gone. 763. This MacBook was involved in an eBay scam attempt. The buyer attempted to steal the MacBook, and when eBay stepped in and forced the buyer to return the MacBook, he opened it and apparently caused some damage to the MacBook. I'm not aware what the damage is, so the MacBook will not power on. It power cycled. I unplugged. How do you steal a MacBook on eBay? Don't you have to pay for it? Power cycle that. That's 2 in a row that really didn't have to do anything. Man, I'm a little too good at cherry picking today. So I'm going to go up to the front of the store, find myself another machine, and hopefully we can do something that actually requires a brain, because this is starting to get boring. Alright, so today we've got another A1502 no power. I hope this one actually has no power so that we have a board to fix. We're going to open this thing up and see what's going on with it. Let's open this machine and see what we can do. John, the thing is I invested quite a bit in all of these, and I don't feel like purchasing new ones when these ones do just fine. The thing is, when I go far away from it, from the receiver, the problem is that you hear this really loud noise, and there used to be this squelch feature that if I set to medium or middle, it would work, but the squelch feature no longer works, and I haven't had time to bother researching and contacting Sennheiser so I can deal with a tier 1 tech support that will tell me, have you tried turning it on and off again? So I use this. It works fine. The sound quality is good enough. Do you repair not working home and power buttons on an iPhone 4? Absolutely, Mario. If you need a home and power... Send it in. Attention, Paul S., 186 First Avenue, New York, 10009. Attention, Paul S. He will fix your non-working power button and home button on your iPhone 4. Because Paul loves iPhone 4s about as much as he loves iPads. Okay, so let's open this thing up. If this power is on, I swear I'm going to just throw it in the garbage at this point. This is going to be the third effing machine today that says no power that just turns on, and there's only I'm losing patience for it. So we have that's the serial number that somebody wrote there, I suppose, for some reason. So I am going to plug this in. We're going to unplug the battery because I want to see how much power the board is taking. I don't care what the battery is taking. And it says that it's taking 6 milliamps. Okay, so that's pretty dead. That's pretty dead. I like that. Good. Dead MacBook. All right. And we're going to take the board out of here and try and figure out why it is that this MacBook is dead. What mic do you use? I'm sure you've said it before. There should be a link in the description. I use a DPA 4065. This microphone sounds great. Now, the quality here is diminished because there's somebody ripping packing tape over there. I have a very loud fume extractor right in front of me. This thing is always on, making lots of noise. It's got the turbout under my desk. I have the AC, which is really fucking loud because it's a ghetto window unit rather than a proper mini split that I'd have if I was a real business. So there's a lot of noise going on around me. But in spite of that, you're still able to hear me clearly because it's right next to my mouth. And since this is an omnidirectional, not a cardioid, if it moves from here to here to here to here to here, there's not these radical differences in the sound quality, the sound signature, or the volume, which is what I really like about this mic. It's perfect for this application. If I remove this board and it powers up, I'm killing it. No, it's not happening again today. Please help Alan with his sound setup. When I see him again, I got a lot of stuff to do at the moment. I was going to help him put his lavalier microphone closer to his neck. I could mess with his setup but I don't have time at the moment, and I don't think that he has time for me to show up at his apartment or house or office either. Alan is a very busy man. He's a busy broker. But I will do what I can. I'll visit him and when there's time, and we'll make this good. I like Alan. I feel like I'm introducing my dad to the internet in some way. Like, I saw him give away his cell phone number in the comments, and I'm just thinking, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, but that's the thing. Good stuff costs money, Trick Show. And this is cheap. That's the thing. You want to look at what real studio gear costs? You want to see expensive? Let me show you expensive. Here. You want to see expensive? You want to scream at what expensive is? Or check this out. This is not expensive. A DPA 4065 is not expensive. This is fucking expensive. Let's see. What about Microtech Geffel? Microtech Geffel. Yeah, you want to see expensive? Buy this. Oh, your website sucks. Come on. Load. Wait a second. I'm at work, not home. Oh, yeah, Time Warner. Yeah, we have Time Warner. Never mind. I can't install the website. No, I don't, but I'm about to, says Trick Show. Yeah, look at this. See this? Thank you very much, Trick Show. This right over here, this is an amazing mic. Microtech Geffel makes an amazing shit. Or the Neumann KM84, one of my favorites. I love this thing. These are awesome. Not the 184. The 184 is a piece of shit. Fuck the 184. I mean the KM84. Can you still buy the KM84? You can only buy the 184. Seriously? Fucking kidding me? Yeah, like there's a lot of shit that's way more expensive than this. This is cheap as far as microphones go. I do not use an LA2A. No, but this is cheap as far as microphones go. It's like $600 for a mic is really not much. No, I've eaten way too much, JP. I had a burrito earlier today, and that's not helping me with my weight loss. But thank you for the kind consideration. So I don't want to ruin my appetite. I got a lovely lady to take out to dinner tonight. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on with this. Thank you, Pop Gabor, for 3,000 Huffington Posts. Thank you. I have a subscription to the Huffington Post. Let's see, what is a huff? 3,000 huffs. God bless your soul. Alright, so. You're seriously turning on. No. Stop. That's fucking no, that's fucking dumb. Really? Another one. Okay, it's turning on. Let's take a look over this and see if there's any water on it. Okay, minor corrosion on the corner. That'll need a little bit of reflow and then probably fine. Wow. What a day. I swear, this is what it's like to be Paul. Now I understand what it's like to be Paul S. You just touch shit and it works again. Thanks for always making good content and positive impacts to Mac Repair community. Looking forward to the Rossman Property Repair Shop. Thank you very much for the $20, Aloe Fox. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You asked to find an old QFN video with ghetto PCB tracks. I found it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I've gotten about 600 emails at this point of that video. I was responding to all of them, but once I got to about 300 emails, I just stopped responding to them. I'm sorry. I was thinking of making a canned response for it, but I just haven't had time. And I got rid of I used to use 9 on my phone, now I use K9 Mail. I got rid of the email app that I was using that had the canned responses, which was helpful in the past. Okay, so let's see. We've got a probe point over there that looks a little bit damaged. Yoink. Yeah, I hear you. I'll have a talk with him. I had a talk with him where I explained to him the expectations, and I told him that, 1 year into doing YouTube videos, I had about 1,000 or 1,200 subscribers. That when it was a year in. Wait, no, it was a year and a half in, and I had 1,000 subscribers, and then when I was about 2.5 years in, I had 10,000. So he's, in a few days, gotten where it took me several years to get. So I hope he has an appreciation for that. I think he does. I read it, Justin Brown. I believe I read that. Thank you, though. Is he going to rent that 6th Ave location? Hey, I'd like to. Are you afraid to get sued by Apple with all these fuck you Apple stuff you say? I mean, how can you get sued for saying fuck you to somebody? Like, I mean, seriously, if Tim Cook got up in front of every major news outlet and just looked at the camera and said, fuck Louis Rossman, like, could you sue him for that? No, it's a free country. Curious what you think about the New York vape ban. Oh yeah, I think that they're totally right. Vapes are really dangerous. That's why I only smoke cigarettes, because I care about my health. Fuck you, de Blasio. And fuck you, Cuomo. I'll leave it to that. I didn't vote for these idiots. I voted for Larry Sharpe. You can't sue for slander because you're not slandering someone when you say fuck an individual. So if I were to say in my chat, fuck Bruce Segal, like, did I slander him? Did I say Bruce Segal smells bad, you shouldn't hire him? Did I say Bruce Segal is dumb, you shouldn't utilize his software company? No, I just said fuck Bruce Segal. Sorry, Bruce, I just saw your name there. It was the most recent one that popped up, so I figured I'd use you as an example. But, like, you can't, that's not slander. BRB. Search for a new store has given us loads of fun stories. Any fun tales worth telling when it comes to how you ended up whatever apartment you're in? I was looking at a space around the Lee Avenue area where I ride home, and I was about to sign a lease, very close to it. And it's a very, very Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. And they go, Rossman, Jewish name? And you Jewish? And I go, oh, no, Rossman, that's one N. Two N's is my spelling. Two N's is German. And they go, oh, okay, oh, interesting, oh, okay. And then they go to look over take the lease back for me to look over. He's like, yes, just make sure we gave you a right copy and everything is okay. And I'm like, you're not giving me that lease back, are you? And he's like, no, I just have to make a couple of changes. And we meet with you, I'll call you in a couple of days. And I never heard from them again. The moment they heard I wasn't Jewish is the moment I was not getting it. I wanted an apartment in that neighborhood. It was like, it was going for something like $800 or $900. I mean, it wasn't the nicest apartment in the world, but goddamn, that was cheap. And that was right by the G train at Flushing. It was about 3 blocks away from there. I would have been able to have it would have been amazing. I would have been able to get to my office in 10 to 15 minutes. It was even closer to the city than I am right now. You know, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. Sure, there was just an error in the lease that he gave me. But anyway, I'm going to grab another computer and we'll go from there. Who says you can't charge for magic? Paul Daniels charges for magic every day. All right. You are popular here in Denmark. Why, thank you, Tony, for the 20 DKKs. I appreciate that. All right. So today, we're going to be working on an A1502 that probably turns on that at this rate. This is the 4th one in this stream, so I hope that this doesn't turn on. If this one also turns on, then fuck it. I'm just quitting and going home for the day. There's only so many machines I can get where it says no power. I open it up, I take everything out, and it already works before I just start to feel like I'm just useless. So let's open the bottom of this machine and see if it is turning on or not. For those of you who are confused what I say, when I said that on stream, I do have a live channel as well. I record my live streams in a higher quality, and then I edit out the interesting tidbits for the main channel. But if you'd like to watch all the stuff that I record and post, even the boring, crappy, shitty outtakes, you can check out the Louis Rossman Random Live channel. So let's open this up. If this turns on, I'm gonna break its CPU in a little bits and pieces and leave it for Paul. I'm gonna rip the PM Sleep S4L right out of this board and donate it to a board that actually needs it. Alright, let's see how many amps this takes when I plug it in. Power cycling, power cycling, power cycling. Okay, I'm not going to take the board out of the case yet because this could be a troll. So 20 milliamps to 70 milliamps, so back and forth like that, means that the board is power cycling. It's trying to turn on, but failing. It's not totally dead. So I'm going to unplug the I/O board. Unplug the keyboard, unplug the trackpad. Six milliamps steady. 2060, 2060, 2060. Alright, so this one looks like it's actually dead. Greenies for Oreo and Blackberry, since that a-hole Clinton steals them all. Love your work, Lewis. I have learned a lot from you in life and business. Thank you very much, James Gentry. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, Erica found the litter box that JP sent as well. My apartment is your standard, typical bachelor shithole from somebody that works the entire day. Like, I go home to go to sleep, pretty much. And then as soon as I wake up, I'm usually late to go to the gym or go to work, and I run straight to that. And it's just all this stuff is piled one on top of the other. Erica was kind enough to... Erica was kind enough, and out of sympathy for me, out of pity, to go through all the messes there. She'll frequently ask me, Catherine, super chat. Let's see, Andrew, super chat donation for 200 euros did not show up. I had the choice to buy a new ThinkPad or donate money. I think we both know I do not need a new ThinkPad. Oh, that showed up about 40 minutes ago. I saw that, and thank you very much to Mario for sending it. But, yeah, my place is... Like, there's stuff that Erica says, you know, I left this here, where is it? And I go, what are you talking about? I left it here. And I go, I have no idea. It might help to pick MacBooks from the faulty pile instead of already fixed. Oh, ha ha. Okay, now we've taken the board out of the case. Now, if this turns on, I will uncontrollably trash this. Did you find the QFN soldering video? I never found the original. I found a bunch of videos that were similar to it, and I had about 600 plus emails of people sending me similar videos, but not the same ones. Sorry if I did not reply to yours. But after about 400 or 500 emails, I stopped replying to them. Okay. So here, it's going from 20 milliamps to 60, 20 to 60, 20 to 60. Now, what this tells us here, when you see that the milliamps are going from 20, 70, 20, 60, 20, 60, 20, 60, what this number tells me up here is that it's power cycling. It's trying to turn on, it's failing to turn on, usually because one of the rails is shorted. So our job here is going to be to figure out which rail that is shorted. So let's switch over to the schematic in the board view. And we're going to see, using Paul Daniels' lovely software here, if we can find the page that lists all the different power rails. Then we're going to go through them methodically and figure out which one is there, which one is missing, which one is shorted. Now, PP3V42_G3hot needs to be present in order for you to get a light in the charger. We do get a light in the charger, so I don't need to check for that. There's other rails I also don't need to check for, like PPDCM. PP3V42 needs to be present to have a light in the charger. And obviously, in order to have PP3V42, you have to have the DCM. So, in order for a voltage to be present on this board, it needs to be getting power from the DCN. This has to be present before anything on here can work. So that I already know, before doing any other work, is present. So now what we got to do is go through the rest of this board and see what we have on it. Back to board view. Next up is going to be our PP bus. A PP bus G3 hot. So we look at PP bus G3 hot over here. See what we get. 13 volts. Actually, let's just fix the range on this meter so that it's more accurate. 12.5 or 12.2. 12.63 volts. PP bus G3 hot is good. SMC is working. Thank you very much, Prodigy. I appreciate that. Indeed. Pepe bus, sharp crocodile. I am online, Radcliffe. It might be a pre-recorded video. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, next up. PPVRTC_G3 hot. Let's take a look over here. What if it's a pre-recorded video made by artificial intelligence? What if you're just too dumb to understand the concept that this video is actually pre-recorded, but it's such a smart recording you can adapt to your live chat in real time? What if Lewis is off at the new store doing construction right now, and you'd never fucking know? Now, so let's go over this. PPVRTC is present. I know you were busy, but I ain't using the 1 million subscriber party location. 1 million subscribers is not coming for longer than I thought. We're only getting a few hundred a day now, so I have some time to think about it. I have no... We were going to do 2 parties. I think what we're going to do is one... that we're gonna have one on the day that we actually hit 1 million. It's gonna be a meetup group that I arrange spontaneously. It's not something I can be pre-planned because I don't know what day it's gonna be. Probably at an arcade around here. And then there's gonna be an official 1 million subscriber party. I have no idea where we're gonna hold that one just yet. That's gonna be one where we announce the date in advance and we give people a chance to make plans and show up. So we're gonna have 2 separate ones. Alright, next up, PPVRTC is there. We're going to check out PP5VS5, which can be found down here. It's 5 volts and going on and off. Look at that. It's going on, going off, going on, going off. Now let's take a look at that area on the schematic in the board view now, shall we? Absolutely, I'm inviting Alan to the party. We'll see if he has time to show up. So, this over here is our 5-volt regulator. Now, this chip is responsible for creating 3 different rails. PP3V3S5, it creates PP5VS3, and it also creates PP5VS5 LDO. So I check PP5ES5 LDO and it's pumping up and down. So the first thing I want to do there is see if there's a short to grounds on that rail. Probably not, but you never know. Let's just see if there is. No short to ground. 15 million ohms, that is far from a short. Now what you have to keep in mind is that this chip is responsible for 3 rails. So even if the rail that's jumping up and down is not shorted, the chip could still be to blame if one of its other rails are shorted. So we're going to check out and see what's present at PP5ES3. Let's see if that rail is shorted. Because if any of these rails are shorted, then everything this chip does is not going to work. So imagine, let's say that with one hand I'm playing a video game, and with the other hand, not crude analogy. Let's say with one hand I'm playing a video game and the other hand I'm petting my cat. If I get punched in my face as hard as humanly possible, or if let's say I get punched or stabbed as hard as I can in the left hand, it's not just the video game I'm playing that I'm going to stop playing. I'm also going to stop petting my cat, because both of these hands are attached to the same body. Even if you hurt one hand really hard, even though you haven't hurt this hand, you have hurt my brain, and my brain's going to, this bad analogy, but hopefully you get the idea. Now, over here on the schematic, you have this chip is responsible for 3 power rails. Instead of crowdfunding your move, what would you think of peer-to-peer lending? Basically crowd lending, we take small risks, you get good rates. I've thought about it. I've thought about all this stuff, and we're going to see. I don't know what it is I'm going to wind up doing. I'm really going back and forth on this, because like when it comes to crowdfunding, on one hand, a lot of people have said, you know, you're why do that? You're a fuck. You make money off border pails already, blah, blah, blah. Why should I donate anything to you? On the other hand, what I've realized is that I'm speaking to a large audience of people. So the thing is, let's say there's 10,000 people who've made good money off of my content, 20,000 that just watch to enjoy, and the other 940,000 just watch it because I've said fuck Apple and it makes them laugh. When I say, if you've made money off of the content, I would appreciate a $5 or $10 donation if you've made this much money over this period of time. Hope Apple will open a new outlet just besides your new shop. Bless RNG, the Apple Dream. No Apple Dream, Mr. PP Bus, but thank you for the $1. I'm not only speaking to the people who've made a good sum of money off of my content, I'm also speaking to people who just watch because it showed up in their recommended feed and they found it funny. So one group of people is going to go, fuck you, but the other group of people is going to go, you know, even for $5 or $10, you've given me tens of thousands of dollars worth of knowledge, I'll thank you. And I think I just have to make it clear that I'm speaking to one subset of people if I were to do some sort of crowdfunding thing, and simply not care what the others say, because this conversation is not even for you. You know, and I've thought about it, because there are people that have said that I did a video 4 years ago on why I don't use Patreon or anything like that, and I can't finish a sentence. Keep up the awesome videos and keep all the bastards who want to keep planned obsolescence a thing in check. The world needs more people like you. Thank you. Planned obsolescence is going to get it. We'll see. It really depends on people. It depends on what people want to. It depends on what people want to buy. If people keep buying stuff, even, you know, if Erica keeps buying MacBooks, then ultimately the world is doomed. But if Erica decides not to buy a MacBook, then there is hope for the world. But yeah, back to this. I forget what I was talking about now. Fuck, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the one thing I found interesting is people said, you know, if you wanted money for it, you're a greedy fuck. You should just charge for the video. And this I found really strange. So if I said the educational content is $100 up front to buy as a package, that's not greedy. But to say, here's 5 years of stuff for free. If you happen to have made $10,000 from it, would you like to throw in $5 to help me out? That's greedy. That's the part that's honestly been changing my mind to where I am changing my outlook on things, in contrast to that Patreon video that I did 3 or 4 years ago. Because the people who are the most against the idea are the people where I read their arguments and they're really bad. So I'm thinking my argument was to not use a Patreon or crowdfunding, but the people who agree with my argument appear to be people who are really dumb. What does that have to say? And it's just something that's been going through my head. But I haven't come up with a decision one way or the other yet as to what I would do there. One way or the other, I'm still going to go ahead and get a new place. So now what we were saying here is that this chip over here, the TPS 51980, is responsible for 3 power rails. So even if one of those power rails is shorted, it doesn't mean all of them are going to not work properly because the chip is getting hurt by it. It's like, ow, it's like being punched in the face over and over again. So if I were petting my kitty with one hand and I was playing a video game with the other hand, if you stab my left hand, it's not just the video game I'm playing that's going to be affected. I'm also not going to be able to pet my kitty anymore. Even though you didn't stab my right hand, both of these hands share in common that they're attached to a person with the same brain. And if this brain is going, oh my god, I got stabbed, I'm not going to be able to do anything. And the same is true here. The reason that PP5ES5 is jumping, even though PP5ES3 is the rail that's shorted, is because they're both being made by the same chip. So now we have to figure out why PP5ES3 is shorted, which means looking around the board for all the things that it's attached to. So I am going to load this up here. We're going to click on PP5ES3, and now Paul Daniels' lovely software is going to show me everywhere that it goes, and we're going to see if anything on this line appears to be clearly and obviously damaged. So let's go for it. We're going to have to find the short. At this point, we're going to make use of the Please Bro camera. The Please Bro Solutions camera is going to help us figure out what is getting hot on this board. I'm going to go get the Please Bro camera. All right, so the Please Bro camera has been found. So the person who asked about the donuts, did donuts show up? Did anybody send donuts? Okay, it looks like donuts have arrived, and I don't get any of them because they all get eaten by everybody up there before they get to me. That's the cost of having a back office. Thank you very much for the donuts. So now I have to figure out how to plug in the Please Bro camera. Please Bro solution camera. Uh-oh. I did a bad thing. Thank you. So we do this. Plug in the Please Bro camera. Thumbs up Vlogs video on Patreon sustainability. Yeah, when I say Patreon, I kind of say it in the same way that somebody asked for a Kleenex instead of a tissue. I mean it as a general way to say crowdfunding in general as an idea. It was never something that I thought of doing because I figured I'm making money from this stuff. But what I really didn't get is that there's a lot of people, a lot of franchises that are making a fuck ton of money off of my content. And so I felt, and many of these franchises are very easily able to get funding when they request it. But because I made the content available for free, I'm not able to get funding. And that is a point that has very much so changed the game from the mindset that I had in my original video that I did on crowdfunding, Patreon, and all that stuff. So, anyway, we're going to see if anything is blinking here. I'm going to get this on the screen. There were 24 from JP, says Trick Show. Thank you to JP. Thank you to Trick Show for letting me know, and thank you, JP. Pink Senna, there's no way... I don't know if you're going to be... Actually, let me message you one moment. What do I need to do basic logic board repairs? The first thing you need is a brain. The second thing you need is a soldering iron. The third thing you need is a hot air station. Hopefully Erica checks her signal. And... I have nothing to do with board repair. I'll never earn a nickel from your videos. Just like to listen to what you have to say about your industry and what you've experienced as business owners. Where's your life lessons? Thank you for that. Thank you, Vico-san. I appreciate that. Alright. Plug this in. Display capture. Anything get warm? I'm probably going to have to inject voltage. Nothing is getting obviously warm. Oh, ho! What's this? I see something getting warm here. Is there any PP5ES3 over there? Is there any PP5ES3 over there? There is not. There is... Oh, PP5ES... audio amp is over there. And PP5ES3 on this XW thingy. I think I know what it is. It's going to be this shit that's pulsing over here. See that? When I hit the Chinesium button, that's how you get the software to show you the hottest point on the board. So is it this? This is my tweezer. I think it's this. Let's see if that's what it is. I'm going to remove that from the board. Just going to unplug power for a moment. Now, a part of the capacitor was left behind after I removed it. So check this out. This is a hint. See that? See how the leg of the capacitor is all broken off? And if you look over here, you can see how after I removed the capacitor, it's not just the leg stayed behind, but there's this brownish stuff over here. This section looks burned. Let me just get my exposure up on my camera. So see this? That's not your normal metal coloring over there. That looks burned, and that looks like a burn happened. So that's evidence that before I even do any other work here, before I even measure with the multimeter to see if my short's removed, I know that my short's removed. Because that looks like something that would have been my short. So now these boards, unlike many other PC boards, cool themselves very quickly. MacBooks have no cooling, so it's very, very important that the MacBook board be able to absorb and dissipate ridiculous amounts of heat, because you can't trust this little piece of shit heatsink and fan setup that they have to do any work. On these machines, this fan doesn't start spinning until you've gone into the 80 to 90 Celsius range. So on the newer models, I think 70 to 80 on the older ones. No update, as I think I said 10 minutes ago, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the $199. No update, zero update. Pretty much where I was before. The spontaneous event will probably be at a barcade, and then there'll be a second event after at a to-be-determined location. This over here, this fan does this heatsink does not really do much. This fan also does not really do much. So the board itself absorbs an insane amount of heat. So I can actually turn this on right now. You know, it cools off faster than most other boards. I am going to turn the amperage readings on the screen. And let's see if this thing turns on. As you can see, it is taking 600 milliamps, which means that it is working. Now, the fan is not going to spin, because what if people donated to a GFM in return? They would get their name printed on that glass wall you plan on doing. That's something I'm considering, honestly, Bruho-ho. That's something I'm considering. I've thought about that. And, you know, there's a lot of people who are probably going to give me shit and go, "How dare you make your 5 years of instructional content available for free and suggest the company made $10,000 off it, they consider donating an optional $5. But again, I'm leaning to the point of doing that and just telling those people to like suck my dick, or like, you know, I kind of want to know who those people are, honestly. Look, I have no problem with somebody saying, "Listen, you choose to put up content for free. I ain't giving you shit." That's fine. But when somebody says you can't suggest a tip to open a store if you made somebody 5 or 6 figures, that's where I get in the go fuck yourself land. Did you close a deal with Alan? I have not closed a deal with Alan yet. We need to have my lawyer go over the lease. It is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is a Jewish holiday. The building is owned by Jewish people. The management company is, or the brokerage management firm that's dealing with the tenants is also a Jewish company, so they are all off today, and that's that. Now, this fan is not going to spin on this, because this is a MacBook. This thing needs to get to like 70, 80, 90 degrees before this fan will do anything. But it is taking 500 milliamps, which means it is turning on, which means that we have cleared our short. Now I'm going to replace that capacitor with another capacitor, and then this board will be fixed. And after that, we will be ready to do another board. This Please Bro camera is pleased and pleasing. It is. Please Bro camera is actually didn't do a bad job today. And usually to find the short, I have to inject voltage in. On this one, the short was actually showing up without me showing voltage in, even though the power rail was turning on and off and on and off and on and off and power cycling. Even though it was power cycling, it was enough, just enough there for the thermal camera, the Please Bro camera as I call it, to be able to pick it up. I call it a Please Bro camera because when people ask for solutions that don't require using your brain, they always start their sentence with "Please, bro," or "Please, madam," in the YouTube comments. And that camera allows me to not use my brain. I don't have to figure out what's wrong. I just put the camera on there, and whatever is hot, please, bro. Thank you, Rob Brown. I appreciate that. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you. I don't know if I deserve it, but thank you nonetheless. Alright, so we do this. We do that. And we're going to get ready to solder a new capacitor onto this MacBook motherboard. And from there on in, it will forever work. Happy capacitor. Good work, Lewis. Get a few nice real Canadian beers. Thank you. I will consider it. I think I grabbed that cap a little hard. It's fine. It's a rough and tumble capacitor. Good little board. Happy MacBook. I didn't remove the SSD. I usually do, but the soldering was done on the opposite side of the board, and the SSD does still appear to be room temperature. So let's see what that capacitor was for, the one that was getting really hot that we just so happened to remove. It looks like that was C6412. C6412 is a capacitor for the audio amp on PP5ESO. So most likely PP5ESO was shorted, and PP5ES3 connects to there. So PP5ES3 was showing up as shorted, even though PP5ESO is the rail that the actual short was on. Which means maybe the PP5ESO transistor was stuck open when the machine went off and I made my measurement. So that's interesting to see. And the way that I was able to ascertain from the very beginning that the likely issue was a short circuit is that it was power cycling. And the way I was able to tell that it was power cycling is by reading the amp reading that it was giving me when it was turning on. So this is another important part of the troubleshooting process. I don't just use a normal MagSafe adapter. I cut the ends off of my MagSafe adapter. You know what I'll do is I'll take this MagSafe and I cut this and I plug this end into a power supply, and then I use the power supply to power the actual board, because the amount of power that it's taking is going to give me a clue. The same way that a diode mode reading to ground on backlight output is going to give me a clue. These are all clues, and I want as many clues as I can so that I can pinpoint the issue with the least amount of using my brain. You can help Alan on his YouTube. Yes. And thank you very much for the $2. And that is it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, I hope that you learned something. I'll see you in the next one. I will try to make more time for these. I'm sorry, the real estate thing has not just been taking up a lot of my time dealing with brokers, realtors, attorneys, architects, contractors, designers, and trying to get everything together, and also trying to negotiate a price for myself on all these different things that's worthwhile. But honestly, it just kind of burns your brain after a while, and it takes me out of a mindset where I can work on stuff. You know, if I'm dealing with 2 or 3 different brokers, or 2 or 3 different buildings, or 2 or 3 different agents at the same time, trying to get a good deal on a property, and dealing with all the garbage involved in New York City negotiating a space to get something remotely resembling a good deal, it does unfortunately take away from my ability to sit here and in a calm and relaxed manner work on boards. It just sucks me into a different world that I have to live in order to do that, and that it doesn't make itself, it's not something that's amenable to explaining component level board repair in an educational fashion. But hopefully I'll have time to get back to that more, since it looks like we are close to closing in on a space on 30th Street. As long as my attorney reviews the lease and it's not filled with garbage, we are going to be moving full steam ahead with it. I got an architect on board, I got a contractor on board, and we're gonna try and build ourselves an amazing space. All I got to do now is get the electrician on board, because I don't want just anybody dealing with putting a 600 amp system in there. We do have 600 amps available to my store, which is awesome. And I think there's a 15 or a single 20 amp breaker for the entire store, which is, I mean, that's a fucking joke. But it's that has to get changed out, and once that's changed out, once we got all the stuff going, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a real store, a real office, a real business, and it's going to be cool. I've always wanted a real office. It's like this close. Finally! Anyway, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.